online guide for moving to Mexico, Mexico Relocation Guide. I am Mariana, author and owner of Mexico Relocation Guide, and today we're going to focus in one of the coolest neighborhoods in the world. Now, we're not talking about a well-known metropolitan area like Brooklyn or Notting Hill, but rather a hidden gem in western Mexico called Colonia Americana. Now, if you think I'm exaggerating with my statement, dive into Time Out's most recent article about the coolest neighborhoods to live in the world. And according to this famous magazine, Colonia Americana is the coolest place to live in 2022. Now, let's get started. Let's discover the hippest place to live in nowadays. Colonia Americana is located in the metropolitan area of Guadalajara, the so-called Pearl of the Western Mexico. Similar to New York or Los Angeles, Guadalajara consists of 5 boroughs or municipios. These are Guadalajara, Zapopan, Tlaquepaque, Tlajomulco, and Tonala. Colonia Americana belongs to the first mentioned and the main municipality of Guadalajara. Now, the area occupied by this colonia offers a privileged location, which makes it the epicenter of the city and also provides a really relaxed lifestyle. The history of the neighborhood goes back to the 19th century. It's actually the first colonia ever built in Guadalajara. The project was managed by a German architect called Ernst Fuchs, who settled in Guadalajara around the year 1895. In 1898, the government initiated the project for 2 new settlements outside the city. One was Colonia Francesa, and the other is Colonia Americana. The aim was to modernize and give a European look to the city, which was one of the characteristics of President Porfirio Diaz's regime. The 2 new residential projects were to be a solution for the upper class who were demanding the development of new urban areas outside the main city. The area eventually would see a lot of changes, but always kept its identity as one of the trendiest and best places to live in Guadalajara. Now, you won't have a hard time transitioning here because this is one of the most cosmopolitan and eclectic areas in the whole city. People from all over the world have been rediscovering the hidden pearl in recent years. Your age does not matter in this community, since you will find everything from students to retirees mingling together. So whether you're looking for a vibrant and buzzing lifestyle, or you're more into a relaxed and quiet pace of life, this neighborhood will accommodate your needs. The whole neighborhood offers a very particular and colorful mix, not only amongst its inhabitants, but also when it comes to its architecture, gastronomy, and art scene. You will see a lot of old mansions dating back to the end of the 19th century and early 20th century. Buildings from the Art Deco era houses the so-called Escuela Tapatía de Arquitectura, as well as some contemporary office buildings. The streets are filled with beautiful trees that offer great fresh weather and a great urban landscape, as well as a lot of European coffee shops, traditional Mexican food restaurants, and even food trucks. And you will also encounter a very diverse community ranging in all colors of skin and background, so language should not be a barrier for you to find friends and network in this place. This neighborhood also distinguishes itself for hosting a great number of creative people, from visual artists, fashion or graphic designers, as well as performers or even tech innovators. Now, let's dig deeper into how it is to actually live in this neighborhood. Living like a true local englobes many aspects. It's not only a matter of renting a place, but also knowing the cost of your basic services and goods, where to find your food, how to move around, and also where to have fun. We'll try to be as detailed as we can so you can start your new life with all the necessary tools. Let's start with finding a place to live. Now, as I mentioned, the neighborhood is very diverse when it comes to residences. Here, you will find all sizes and shapes when it comes to apartments, housing, and other condos. And it will be really easy to find something that adjusts to your needs and budget. For instance, you can find a 1-bedroom apartment for one person starting at 8,000 pesos a month. That's about $400 US. They come furnished or semi-furnished. But if you look for something fully furnished, the price will probably go up. As well as if the building is newer or has security 24 hours, the price will probably go up. So bottom line, the price will always depend on the amenities and the type of place you're renting. Now, if you're looking for more space, something with maybe a garden, you can also find single standing homes with 3 bedrooms or more. These are a little bit more rare to find, and the price ranges are very wide. Again, it depends on the amenities it offers, but you can find unfurnished 3-bedroom homes for about 25,000 pesos, which is about $1,300 US. Now, if you're looking for more space in a quieter street or being in a gated community, the price would probably go to 50,000 or 70,000 pesos, which is around 2,500 to 3,500 US dollars a month. So as I said, it won't be hard for you to find something that fits your standards, and even being in an old neighborhood dating back over a century ago, you still find buildings and houses that are very well preserved, as well as newer buildings offering a more modern vibe and look. Now, when it comes to utilities, you can be assured that Colonia Americana is well provided with everything you'll need. Since its creation, it was designed so there was no shortages of water or electricity, and that hasn't changed over the course of time. The neighborhood enjoys good service all year round, and costs are still within Mexican standards. Same goes for gas and internet. Most houses have a stationary gas tank, and the whole neighborhood is provided with fiber optic for good speed internet. However, in most cases, you won't have to worry about the bills yourself, since most landlords include the cost of these services in your lease or your rental agreement. So it'll just be a matter of paying your rent, and your landlord will usually take care of everything else for you, sometimes even offering minor repairs and maintenance to your apartment or house. In any case, so you have an idea of how much you should be paying for utilities on a monthly basis, it probably shouldn't exceed 3,000 pesos or 150 US dollars a month for a household with 2 people. Now, one of the main things that we get asked about is how to get around. Well, as you've seen before on the map, the location of Colonia Americana is one of the most, if not the most privileged in Guadalajara. The city has grown exponentially, so you could say the actual downtown of the city is the area from the famous Parque Rojo, which marks one of the limits of the neighborhood, to La Minerva, the iconic roundabout that pays homage to the Roman goddess of the same name, and that is now one of the main landmarks in the city. In other words, you will be very well connected to any area of this big city. There are countless bus stops, as well as several stations of your favorite means of transportation for residentes of La Americana. You will notice that almost everyone living here rents one of the city bikes offered by the Metropolitan Transportation System, or simply walks everywhere. For making use of these bikes, you need to subscribe to the public system of MiBici. You can get a temporary subscription for 1, 3, or 7 days, going for 80, 160, and up to 280 pesos. Or if you're ready to make bicycle your main means of transportation, you can get a subscription for a year for only 365 pesos, which is roughly 20 US dollars. And you will have unlimited access for 30-minute bike rides whenever you need to. Guadalajara has also recently built a subway system. You have a station in Parque Rojo, and the cost of using the subway is 10 pesos, or about 5 US cents. But if you need to go a longer distance and you don't want to be changing lanes or taking more than one bus, you can rely on Uber, Didi, or InDriver. So far so good, right? It seems like this neighborhood has it all. And that is truly the case, since the Colonia does not lack markets or stores to fill your day-to-day needs. As you can imagine by now, Colonia Americana is filled with commercial areas that provide great variety of things like local markets that sell fruits, veggies, dairy products, cremerias, carnicerias, hardware stores, tech repair shops, clothing boutiques, house and office depots, libraries, you name it. Basically, this colonia has everything. It's super easy to find everything you need in this neighborhood without having to go a really great distance to get it. And last but not least, when it comes to taking care of your body and mind, you will find a lot of alternatives in this neighborhood. There's a lot of gyms, fitness studios scattered all around the area. Being in a nice, quiet area with a lot of trees, you always have the option of just going for a power walk or run within the neighborhood. But we understand that sometimes you can catch a cold or feel under the weather. And for that, you have a great number of pharmacies and consultorios, which are small little private practices in this neighborhood. All of them are very affordable and always accessible to give you a quick checkup and prescribe medication in case you need it. And if you believe in alternative medicine, there's a lot of naturistic and homeopathic pharmacies in the area. Also, there are a lot of doctors living in the vicinity of Colonia Americana. They offer private consultations on different specialties like psychologists, psychiatrics, dentistry, dermatology, and everything in between. so you won't have to break your head trying to find good doctors around the city. You'll have them as neighbors. In case of emergencies, you can always rely on Guadalajara's healthcare system. This is the second biggest in all of Mexico, so you can expect world-class hospitals in this city. Real quick before we move on with the video, I know that researching and moving to Mexico isn't a super easy task, and you may be wondering if living in Mexico is even right for you. That's why I want you to check out our free Living in Mexico guide, which includes some of my top tips on the cost of living, residency visas, finding the best rental, healthcare in Mexico, popular cities to live in, and so much more. That way you get started with research with some great information that's actually up to date and accurate. The link is in the comment section of this video. Okay, let's get back to the video. So I think we've covered pretty much all you need to know about your basic needs. But what about leisure? Well, as I mentioned before, this is the epicenter of the city, and not only when we talk about location, but also when it comes to fun activities and nightlife. Right at the heart of the neighborhood is the famous Avenida Chapultepec, also known as Chapu. Well known by locals and visitors to be the rendezvous point for people that want to have a good time. The road stretches about 1 mile from Mexico Avenue to Niños Héroes Avenue, and it's one of the most diverse and biggest commercial areas in the whole city. Here, you'll find a great variety of coffee shops, restaurants, bars, nightclubs, libraries, furniture stores, gyms, banks, and even tianguis or artesanías. This avenue consists of 2 roads and a nice pedestrian corridor in the middle that works as a park too. So the experience of this street is not limited only to coming to actually consume or shop, but you can also just enjoy a casual walk with either your furry friend, by yourself, or with other friends. But if you feel this road is too mainstream for you, you can explore the many streets that are connected to Chapu, where you will find a surplus of things to do, eat, or buy. Like Manuel López Cotilla, which is an iconic street for its many coffee shops, great restaurants, which are all along the road. There's also Avenida Vallarta, which is one of the main roads in Guadalajara and provides everything from house goods, food, tech shops, and more. There's also Calle La Paz, Calle Libertad, or Avenida Miguel Hidalgo. Don't worry, I'll include the spelling of these in the description of this video. So basically, on any street you decide to walk around, you will always find something that will catch your eye. It's also fair to assume that when the sun goes down, this area gets as lively and vibrant as you can expect it to be. You could even say that the nightlife in Guadalajara concentrates in this one area. Whether you are aiming for a casual friends night out, just a couple of beers, or a nice conversation. Or if you're looking to have a romantic date with a glass of wine, great dinner, you can have it all here. Now, if you want to go wild and dance it up until the wee hours of the morning, this is the place. The options are countless here, and each one of these bars and nightclubs offers something different and new. It'll be pretty hard to get bored in this neighborhood. Now, some of the places that we recommend are Café Providencia, Café Caligari for a nice breakfast and great coffee. You can visit Vulcanos for a great Chicago-style pizza, or if you're into Asian food, you can check out Momotabi. They have 2 branches, one in Avenida Mexico that specializes in Japanese curry, and one in Libertad, where they make ramen. But if we talk about ramen, you can go to Uma Uma or Peco Peco. Both are from the same restaurant chain, and you can enjoy every bit of your food in whichever you choose. They have amazing food. For nice cocktails and great ambience, you can try Casa Trapiche on Juan Manuel Street. They have awesome mixologists. Now, if you're just into a quick beer or a quick bite, you can go to Peter Brown, which is an old favorite where surely you'll have a great time. And last and not least, if you're into dancing, techno clubs, or anything like that, there's a well-known Bar Americas, which is now internationally known and never misses to bring great DJs and provide really fun parties. As you can imagine, there's a lot more to visit and see in Colonia Americana, but we wanted to give you a short recommendation list in case you're planning to visit on a scouting trip anytime soon. Now, we know that the number of people wanting to move to this beautiful country is growing every day, and we want to give you a more detailed look into the coolest neighborhood in the world, Colonia Americana, so you consider it as your next home. I'm pretty sure that if you take the decision to come and live in this beautiful place, You will immediately fall in love. Now don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Check my past videos to get a better overview of how living in Mexico is. And stay tuned for all my upcoming videos so you are always updated with all the need to knows about this amazing country, Mexico. I think that's it for today, amigos. My name is Mariana. You just watched Mexico Relocation Guide y nos vemos en el próximo video. See you guys on the next video.